Dare to dream, dare to excel, dare to be flamboyant. Pancheke Radio. Be flamboyant.
Okay, welcome to TMI. It is not too much information. It is this marriage issue, and on the show we try to explore everything that relates to marriage from the couple's perspective, from the perspective of their friends, from the perspective of onlookers, during the marriage, before the marriage, and maybe even after the marriage, depending on the situation and the circumstances. And today on the show, oh, by the way, I am Olufisayomi. Gosh, I forgot to say that. Almost. And the lovely giggle you hear is brought to you by Lina. Lina, you go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay, so you said my name, but my full name's Lina Sonia. I try to keep it English because my Nigerian names kind of make people's tongue twist.
We want to hear it, though. What's your Nigerian name?
My Nigerian names are Oluwashubomi Banboshe Umosen.
Oh.
Yes, I just almost twisted my own tongue. Thank you very much. It's only said once.
Okay, so you're part Kenyan, part Nigerian.
Let's just say I was born and raised in Kenya. I'm not like Kenyan by tribe. I'm just born and raised here. Yeah, so I carry the nationality based on the fact that I was born here. But my dad's Nigerian, thus all those tongue-twisting names.
Okay.
I'm currently in Kenya. I lived here for 21 years. Then I moved to Nigeria for about 15, 16 years. For those that are trying to calculate my age, let me just help you. I am 36. And I got married but separated, so that's the reason why I'm back in Kenya. I've been here for about 3 years. Yeah. So yeah, long and short of the story.
Wow. And wow. Gosh. Okay. We're going to try and talk about your story, or let you tell your story at your own pace, because that's what this marriage issue is about. There are several aspects that one could explore, but I'll let you decide which of the parts of your story do you want to go into and why.
Okay. I would like to talk about my marriage before and after, considering the fact that I was dating the same person for about 8 years before I decided to get married. And then the during and the after is also something I would want to talk about, and minus the dandruff part, because that comes And basically in between those, then I'll touch on like trying to have kids and a condition that I suffer from that really does cause infertility, and one of the reasons that was also bringing a lot of turmoil in my marriage. So I would touch on all that depression and suicide attempts and suicidal thoughts and being bipolar. So it's just a whole game.
pot of soup.
Pot of soup with like egusi and ewedu all joined.
And oh my god.
Oh my god, don't even start on me. I am missing this thing so badly. Oh my god.
Oh gosh. And you know what? As a side totally unrelated comment, I saw on Instagram just today that Kenyans don't eat snails.
Yes, they imagine there's people here that I am disappointed in the.
We are going to need to tie that into TMI somehow so that we can read it.
Okay, cool. but they disappoint me. Oh.
Oh goodness! All of the Anyway, let's leave it there. We'll come to it later in the future. But what do you want to focus on today?
Today I wanted to focus on my marriage, the before and the during. So basically, when I moved to Nigeria, I met this very down-to-earth human being, man, and we kind of like went out for 8 long years. Lina does not do that long. I don't even know how. It's like watching Game of Thrones, that kind of commitment. So we dated for 8 years, and then we were both hustlers. When I say hustlers, we really didn't have that much money. I was earning about like 6,000 when I met him, and he was just like earning about 10 grand. So it was really like out of school, let's try this kind of thing. And I was fortunate enough to land an extremely good job eventually with a multinational company, keeping it secret. And I started earning almost $500,000.
Wow.
Yes, exactly. I know. Like, ooh.
We need to talk about this after the show.
And trust me, it was just really out of the blue. Like, I kept on praying to God, like, you have to help me. Like, I'm this kind of person that really just wants to help people. And I realized that I am the strongest person in the relationship when it comes to going out there and hustling, and I have a very strong personality. My voice speaks by itself. So, if I realize that I'm with a man who probably is not like a go-getter and stuff, then I take that position. Maybe it's a bad thing, maybe it's a good thing, and maybe that was the foundation of all our problems. But even during the wedding, it was more, even the whole proposal, I'm always in awe when people actually just get a guy who goes down on his knees and says, will you
propose this
will you be my wife, or blah blah blah, fish cake. I just got, okay, so when are we getting married? Next year. Okay. Okay, no problem.
You're kidding me.
And I'm serious. There was
how romantic is that?
Yeah, like totally. Red light special, candlelight dinner kind of shit. Yeah, but it was totally the opposite of what I had dreamed about. First of all, my dad is actually the one who put an ultimatum and said, if you're not going to marry this girl after 8 years, you can as well just let her get married to some old rich guy with some marks on his face, and he was like, okay, fine, we'll get married. And that's how it just happened. Yeah, and that's how it happened. Like, we did the court wedding. It was just like maybe 5-6 people. His parents didn't come. My parents, my father, my father came. So I should have seen those kind of like red flags from the beginning. Like, how the hell do you not come to your son's court wedding? Yeah, even though they were, I mean, obviously they had to be there during the traditional wedding. I didn't do the white wedding. It's not my culture. It's white man's culture. I'm just a black girl. So I did a traditional wedding, and for me it was chaotic because my family wore a different color, his family wore a different color, and it was like a battle of Game of Thrones or something. Who's going to perform better with cooking what food and preparing what it was just. And I was like, you know what, let's just do this. Let's just finish this whole getting married, throwing money all over the place, and then.
Is he Yoruba as well?
He's from Cross River.
Okay.
Yeah, but I just kind of like felt from the get-go I wasn't really accepted fully. Maybe because I am very liberal. I'm a spiritualist, yeah. And when I say spiritualist, I do not mean a herbalist, just FYI. But I'm very spiritual, but I'm also very liberal. I come from a very liberal family where we're mixed race, half white, half black. So you can imagine. So and I've traveled abroad. He hasn't really traveled anywhere apart from some places within Nigeria. So I have a broad knowledge of different cultures and how to incorporate them. And when we got married, I am more of, I'm married to you, and we can go visit your family, but I don't really need to sit. There's this thing about Nigerians. Oh, you have to go and play with your mother-in-law. Play what? What am I playing?
Because you're the wife, you have to wash her clothes that you see.
Hell no! You have 3 house helps. I have my hands. Washing machine, yeah, but I didn't understand, and they were getting upset with me. So, and I'm this person, like, wait, I have very beautiful legs, so I like showing them off, blah, 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 but they didn't like it. The sisters obviously maybe felt a little bit intimidated, and I know I can be very intimidating. I have a very intimidating look, but I'm a very nice person, which they didn't seem to understand anyway. So we started having, trying to get pregnant. That didn't work. And then because I have a condition called endometriosis, which we'll talk about some other time in future. And it basically it's just painful period. And I couldn't conceive. For the 8 years we were together, I think I got pregnant once and I lost it. And it was actually a very trying time when my mom had died. I was in hospital and she died, and that's beside the point. But when I was married, I was really trying to get pregnant and it wasn't working. And so here my husband was like, well, we can try like going to the gynecologist for assisted conception or whatever it's called. So we now went to the hospital. I was the job I was doing, I was in, was really paying good money. So I made like 1 million at once, like a commission of 1 million, and I used all that to try and get pregnant. My husband did not have money to help me get pregnant, like assistance from the.
But he suggested it.
Yeah, he suggested it, but I was the one who was getting poked and pricked, legs all thrown all over the air. But he never was able to provide the money financially. So again, some red flags came up. I'm like, if I do get pregnant, how in the living daylights am I going to support this child? I do not want to be a married single mother. Do you understand? I already have him. He's a full-grown child. And then now also get, so I was just like, okay, fine, let's see how it goes. So we tried. That didn't go well. In fact, I felt so sick. I almost died. My body just rejected the whole process. So 1 million gone down the drain. Yay, okay. So I said, okay, fine, maybe let's try and visit Kenya. Yeah. And it was more of, I'm married into your family. You've never met the full extent of my family. So why don't we go to Kenya and visit them? So we did, but again, it was from my pocket. Literally from getting the passport to packing his bag. It was me. Yeah, so, and it's not like I woke up one morning and said, hey boo, we're going to Kenya. No, it wasn't that way at all. I'm someone that likes to plan so much, and what I told him was, you see, this is January, okay, what do you say that next year, January, we go to Kenya? So I'm giving you about 12 months in advance, 12 months head start to collect money and whatever. So by the time we're traveling in December or January of the year that we had decided, boom, I'm told I ain't got no penny. I don't have anything. Oh, we have to pay house rent. I was like, okay, fine. House rent is about 500 grand. Yeah. No problem. I will pay the 80% of it. You pay the 20. And I would still cater for the flights and feeding and everything. So that was going to be a whole lot of money. I was going to cough up about $16,000. And I was in love. Baby girl didn't care. I made money. Okay. I should have remembered that. My mom should have come back from the grave and slapped me right smack up in my face. But so we got on the plane with him having about $200. 200, not
200
200,000.
naira.
Yes, 200 naira, and about 200 naira. And we went to Kenya. We went to safaris. We went every single place that he wanted and I wanted. I was showing him off the beaches, everything. And we still got to buy stuff for everybody in his house.
Awesome.
Yeah, with my money, of course.
Yeah, but that's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah,
Wink,
that was a big
wink.
laugh. Wink, wink. So anyway, so we came back. Now back to thinking how I'm gonna make money again, because my husband was not that, like I said, he wasn't really
Buoyant.
Yeah, so I felt I needed to do all those things, and I love spoiling my men. To all the men out there, please don't come to me asking for money, because right now I'm not rich anymore, but I love spoiling my men. So I started hustling all over again, thinking of other ways to make money. And like our marriage was getting a little bit tense. He was now focused so much on a business he was into that he would like stay up till late talking on the phone with his people. It kind of felt like a cult. And then he comes to the bed like 3 o'clock in the morning with his laptop. So the laptop now became like his new girlfriend and stuff. And he's one thing is he's not the type to actually like cheat on me. So that's great. But the problem is he assumed that I needed money. Like the only way to make me happy was to have money. I don't know where men get this ideology from. I make so much money, I don't need your money. But he felt, I need to make money so that
You
I
have
can
to be the man. Yeah.
Yes. So I was like, you know what? That's fine. You do